Assalamualaikum kamu.
We want to welcome everyone here this morning. We're glad to have you here. We're glad to have you in our presence. Most of all, we want to express our gratitude to our Rasul. For without him, there would not be any Muhammad or anything else pertaining to this lesson. Therefore, we will have a lesson this morning, a science lesson. We will have a lesson dealing with something of great importance. And I'm speaking directly to a member by the name of Miss Carol Dixon. And the lesson is entitled Names. The lesson is entitled Names. The Muhammad Gospel tells us that a name is very important to the education of one's mind.
Yeah.
Exactly what does that mean? It means that what you call a thing gives you an idea as to what that thing is. Therefore, names are very important to the education of the mind. A good example, the name nigger or negro gives us no light. It gives us no light. It was never intended to give you light. The name negro or nigger was never intended to give you light. That's one of the explanations that we're saying of the education of the mind. And as a result of that, our people have been led astray by other things, like the names. I'm not singling you out, sister. I'm just saying the importance of names. So, in the name of our Rasul, peace be upon him. In the name of the Most High God I speak. Names. In the lower savage state of barbarous savage customs of a people, in the lower stages of civilization, a personal name is simply a title or epithet, usually drawn from some defect. Usually drawn from some defect. We see that in the so-called Indian people, big bear, brown dog, running wolf. These are all names given to these people to distinguish them as a result of who they are. Running dog. That may not be he was a running dog, but that's the name that fits him. Running dog. Yes. Negroes, niggers, colored people, are the lower stages of civilization. In the higher savage states, there is the use of a noun. Grammar. The word is used as a name of a person, place, thing, quality, or event. And other words like John, table, school, kindness, skill, and party are nouns. All of these are nouns. We're still talking about names. We're still talking about what you give a name to a thing, how you describe it, a name. Nouns may be singular words or compound words like bathroom, bookcase, log rolling. Now comes group words like high school, hubcap, go-getter, and motor car. You're talking about names. Very few nouns in the English language have different forms from the masculine and feminine gender. From the word Gina, G-N-A, meaning to know. comes the Sanskrit Naman, Gothic or German Nama, and English name, also the Greek onama, and Latin nomen. The prophet of Amun-Ra taught, no matter what you name a person or a thing, that person or thing is God's thing and is holy. That is, to name a person or thing gives something of an ownership in it. To name a person or a thing gives ownership in it. We are a family. We are a family. We try to draw people to us. We're not trying to repel people away from us. The names that we carry are names that give credence. It gives authority to who we are striving to become. Read Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1, and Genesis chapter 2, verse 19. The word dog in the Christian Bible is kala. The name Noma means sweetness, while the name Mara means bitterness. We have names that represent power of the sun and planets and the sky and the moon and nature. Being sons and daughters of the sun, that soul is reaching out for the higher stages of civilization. So you can see now, I hope, that the name is of importance in the education or training of the mind within the soul. Okay. Once we allow our inner selves to direct the outer selves, we will indeed attract according to the power of the name. At the present, I am or Anu is afraid the names are being dormant, and the noun and adjective of the old barbaric state is yet in control. By this effort, the race is at a standstill, arguing over what somebody else created and made to serve a certain purpose. This is bringing out the savage state before we learn things which gave power to the black race and who taught them all. Language. Let us learn to say yes when we meet other nations in their own tongues. Let us give respect to all nations. All nations' way of worshiping God. If a Christian approaches with his truth, let your answer be yes, you are right. If we meet a Muslim in his discourse, let your answer always be nam, nam. If we walk and meet a Russian in his discourse, let your answer be Mao, Mao. If we meet a Japanese in his discourse, let your answer always be Wah, Wah. If we meet a Spaniard or Mexican in his discourse, let your answer always be Si, Si. If we meet a Negro in his discourse, let your answer be Wallah, Wallah, meaning, oh my God. If we meet a Jew in his discourse, let your answer always be Shalom. Shalom, their way of saying salam. On and on goes the tongue of other nations and those who have yet to come as such. When meeting another true fahami, when meeting another true fahami, let your answer always be fahami takrabandami. When meeting another true fahami, let your answers always be fahami takrabandami, which means fahami above all. When we meet a rejecter of the doctrines of fahami, let your answer always be olekum alakum, which means hell on you. On meeting one another in this central headquarters, let your answer always be hamdu, hamdu, praise you, and give the mightiest respect for all women. This causes them to be hillards, which is showing high principles and feelings in their behalf. As the Greeks say, hillard, meaning gay. This is the multi-faceted subject. This is the science class, the life-giving herbs. We look outside and we see all the greenery. Do we know these are life-giving herbs? Do we understand how these life-giving herbs affect us? Do we understand that the word medicine itself means vegetables? I asked a doctor one time. I said, sir, you're a doctor. I said, do you know what the word medicine means? Medicine means medicine. I said, the word medicine means vegetables. Because every vegetable that we see is a life-giving herb. It's a noble herb. This is our science class. Assembly of the wrong. The life-giving herbs are those which are planted in the proper or right time and season of the year, fertilized by the wind, and giving to the earth air, water, and heat of nature. By the use of earth, air, water, and heat means that all noble herbs are those that are made perfect in growth and is without blemish or defect, or those that are given life, light, and energy from the Son, who is the Father or head of all of God's creatures. Amen. Fowls of the air, fish of the sea, animals, all crawling, reptiles, ants, bugs, flies, gnats, underground creatures, and every sort of vegetable from which the word medicine was originated. For the word medicine means vegetable. From these noble herbs' action upon the orgasm of our body is because of the Son's energizing them in accord with the nature of the creatures who are to survive by use of those elements in their bodies, such as iron, gold, brass, silver, lead, copper, zinc, lime, and many other things of natural medicine for the orgasm or the organism or working parts of the body. I see you laughing over there. Yes. Yes, Ra, Christ, or the Son, is the doctor or teacher of the universe by permission or as it expressed alliance of the most greatest high or extreme God, the creator of all out of season herbs or vegetables defect the minerals of the blood. Blood is small bags of pure minerals upon which the inner man or spirit lives upon. Did you know that? Since we as the human race and fathers of all inhabitants of the land, why not allow ourselves to strive to lead the world back into good health or that which benefits? All things will reveal, all things were revealed or made known to our magnificent ancestors who were great by birth and character. Alman gave to all mankind the most of their medicines. His doctrines or medicines or ways of using the noble herb became the healers of the nation. Health. Health is a gift or a present from the Most High God, Amun-Ra, and Lelachirah of Fahami. Health is the condition of the mind. The world of now is filled with inns called hospitals, and the word hospital is of Italian origin, where wounded warriors were given first aid to wounds of the arrows by women. These inns today carry the first man's name, hospitalius, or hospital. Around this country, I know that these inns are carrying sick bodies and them on drugs that are not in harmony with temperament of their souls. Many of today's drugs are poisonous to many organisms of the body. These noble herbs, these noble vegetables today have been adulterated and do little for the sick organs of the bodies of men. Abusing the laws of nature causes many a body to be infected and sometimes causes death. To live under the natural law of the universe, since we are all a small part of it, promise health that benefits good health. The right foods are those which are sowed in harmony with the movement of the heavenly bodies. The month of the Ram is the proper time for sowing seed for the upcome or the upkeep of good health. March, or the month of the Ram, is the first month of the year. We call it March because the law of the sun, which energizes and gives new vigor and life to the incoming and coming forth of life out of the dead earth. Remember, health is the condition of the mind. Therefore, using the right thoughts or mind keeps all of our working organs in good health. And this is happiness. To know that our inner selves are at peace with the operation of our organs by the use of the noble herbs in the proper time for keeping the good of all of the human race. To speak of dead bodies, which are in that state at all times, when leaving it the breath of life, it decays and perishes and ferments. This causes an odor. Formaldehyde is a poison used to preserve bodies, but fails to do so. To embalm means to strike a paralyzing blow to the maggots in issues of the body. To mummify means to harden. The little man with the big head, someday or night, will give this secret to a worthy undertaker, or one who takes dead bodies for undergoing years of being preserved. Let us close our little session for now, and remember, health is the condition of the mind, formulated by our noble adept, Cheikh. Peace and blessing with you. This is our thing.